Chapter 1. Ugh. Monday mornings. Everybody despises Monday mornings. They're filled with nothing except disappointment. Just like my existence since this past summer, I reflected silently. This past summer I relocated to live with my uncle and aunt in Florida after my parents were involved in a car accident and died. Naturally, caused by an intoxicated driver. I dislike being here, though perhaps that's simply because of my uncle and aunt. They don't give a damn about me whatsoever. And I'm not simply being dramatic, they genuinely don't care. They only accepted me because they were instructed to, and they were also told to register me in school for my final year. They only provide me with food and cover the basics. They never speak to me unless necessary, and if I request to leave the house their sole response is, "Return before midnight or we'll hurt you." They aren't violent though, they have never touched me before. They consistently just ignore me. I don't believe they'll actually hurt me, correct? Moving on to the subject of school. My initial day of high school is today, even though the first term began a few weeks earlier. My uncle and aunt ignored the matter until the school contacted to check if I was still attending. So they officially registered me, and today marks my first day. I dress in a maroon-colored, shirt that is somewhat thin though it doesn't show through, a leather jacket, dark blue jeans, and a pair of black Nike shoes. I grab my backpack from my bed and ensure I have everything I require. I walk to my door and glance into my room to try and recall if I'm forgetting anything. My room is somewhat on the smaller side. On the left side of my room I have a desk, and on it I have a sketchbook, a lamp, and numerous art supplies. On the right side of my room I have my queen-sized bed with covers that are blue with all types of white patterns that almost seem to extend forever, and a window that has white blinds covering them. Finally, I have a small bin for a trash can next to my desk with a dresser beside it. Photos of my mom, dad, and my friend from back home with some necklaces. My preferred picture is the one we captured on a summer vacation to Disney World when I was 8. It was so enjoyable but very hot. I close my bedroom door and walk downstairs to my uncle, whispering something to my aunt. Once they realize I'm in the room they stop immediately, turning to me. "You better rush before you're late," my uncle tells me with a pleading expression to leave. "Don't worry, I'm just walking to the door." I sigh as I walk straight past them, heading out the living room door. My house is 2 floors, but it's not that large. We have 2 bedrooms with 3 bathrooms, a living room, dining room, kitchen, and an office for my uncle. I walk to my car, which is a red Jeep, and jump in the vehicle, starting it before taking my phone out of my pocket. I hadn't checked it this morning as I usually do when I first wake up. 2 missed calls from Sophie and 3 new text messages. I wait for her to answer her phone when I hear her voice. "Where have you been? I've been trying to call you all morning." "I'm sorry, Sophie, I had to get ready for my first day." "Oh yeah, your first day is today. I forgot you're starting later on. Everyone better be nice to my best friend or I'll throw some hands." I'm picturing her mocking herself and throwing her hands around. She's always been the fierce and social one out of us two. I'm mostly the independent and quiet one unless I'm around my friends. I laugh. "Yep, I know you would. Hey, I gotta go or I'll be late. I also have to find my way around the school." "Okay, call me when you get home so I can hear about your first day." "See ya." "See ya, Sophie." I hang up and pull out of the driveway, making sure I look both ways before heading off to the school. When I arrive at the school I park in the student section, and surprisingly there was no one outside other than people who are walking in. They must not hang outside before school. I say to myself as I walk out of the car. It was unusual for no one to be hanging around outside in the mornings at my old school. There would be teachers and students everywhere you look. I walk towards the school and see people looking at me strangely. Yes, I'm new, don't get your underwear in a twist. I walk in and immediately see the groups. The athletes in a corner discussing plays, the people who just go to their classes to avoid the halls, people who just stand in the hall and talk, and of course, the popular girls. You could tell by how they flaunt their hair as they walk past everyone, acting like they own the damn place. I take out my sheet of paper where my schedule lies, seeing my locker number. I notice the lockers are in a sort of letter combination, so I search until I reach the C's. C21, C22. Aha. C23. I say to myself. I open it and out comes a bunch of papers, flying all around me and over me until they reach the floor. I huff in annoyance as I start to clean out my locker, but I notice the queen bee staring at me right away as she passes by. Her two friends who follow her around laugh along with her and walk away from me. I take one of the pieces of papers and read it. It was a bunch of worksheets and papers from homework assignments. Taking a closer look, I notice the person who owned this locker graduated the year before. I mutter, jerk, leaving everything for someone else to clean up. I realize the school lets you walk around with your backpack, so for today, I'll carry it with me. I walk away, but as soon as I try, a girl practically bumps into me from how quick she was walking. Hey. So you're the new girl. I've heard about you. Already? Wow, news really travels fast in this place. I say shyly, not realizing someone would be so eager to talk to me. It is my first day, or first 10 minutes into this year. If I have to be at a new school with different people, I don't want to be alone here. My name is Emily, what's yours? I ask with a small smile. Zara. Would you like to be friends? She says enthusiastically. Of course. I giggle and shake my head at the sudden question. Oh good. I need a girl best friend, all I have I dash. She was about to finish her sentence when a guy suddenly tackled her in a hug that almost made her fall down. What's up, Zara? Having a good day dash. Oh, and who are you? He motions towards me with a smile. I'm Emily, nice to meet you. Oh Emily, I like that name, are you single? He winked at me flirtatiously, but you could tell he was joking by his playful expression. Yes. I laughed softly, turning to Zara, who narrows her eyes at him. Well, he seems nice. Ethan. No flirting with my friend. Don't pay attention to him. Zara whines and punches Ethan's arm. Zara is about 5 feet 3 inches with long black hair that runs to her thighs. She has hazel eyes, black glasses, and her face is naturally beautiful. Makeup wouldn't be able to match her beauty. Ethan is about 5 feet 6 inches with brown hair and brown eyes. You can tell he works out a little bit by his muscles. I wouldn't let that intimidate you since he seems to be a huge teddy bear. I laughed at what Zara said. Ethan, you're cute, but sorry, I just now found out your name. It's okay, I was joking. Ethan exclaimed, taking my schedule out of Zara's hands to examine it. You have second block with Zara and you have fourth with me, he says with a smile. Oh, that's good. I thought I'd be alone today, to be honest. I say with a shy smile. I didn't think I would meet anyone, let alone two people who seem very friendly. I did not want to be throughout this whole year without any friends. What fun is that? Now I have Zara and Ethan. Not with us. We have lunch with you too, so don't worry about that. Zara says this school is separated into 2 semesters. From the first day of school till February 1st they have 4 classes. Right now my schedule goes, first block, math second block, art third block, honors English fourth block, history, and then after February 1st I have first block, Spanish 3 second block, math PT 2 third block, science fourth block, free block. I don't have a fourth block next semester because since I have all my credits for all my classes to graduate with an advanced diploma. With my Spanish classes, I don't have to have a fourth block. Just watch out for Brianna, she's a jerk. Zara rolls her eyes as she eyes Brianna in the corner of her eyes. Ethan looks confused until he spots what she is staring at and nods his head in agreement. Yeah, don't get on her bad side. I'm not looking for trouble in my last year in high school. So will do. The bell rings signaling to get to class, so they step away from me as I get handed back my schedule. Well, we'll see you later, Jess. Zara says, bye. Ethan says, and he waves at me and walks away. Great. I don't know where any of these classes are. I tried to find my first class, but there were no teachers to help me in the halls. What is going on with this school? Seriously, do none of the teachers here go in the halls? I whisper angrily to myself as I'm walking past doors. I notice there aren't any students in the hallways as I glance at the clock. The minute hand moves to the 12, signaling the start of school. With a ring of the late bell, I curse under my breath. Great, late on the first day. I walk around for another minute until I find the door that read, F11. I open the door and see a bunch of heads turn towards me. "Aw, Miss Meadows, see you weren't looking to be early on your first day," the teacher says, standing up from her seat to examine me. I felt as if I was a criminal under her gaze, making me shift in my spot. "Sorry," I mumbled. "Miss, please stand in front of the class and introduce yourself," my teacher said as she directed me where to stand. I walked to the front of the class, looking at all of my classmates in front of me. "Hello everyone. My name is Emily Carter and dash." I was interrupted when the door slammed open beside me and I saw the pair of eyes who caused it. Mate. Chapter 2. I looked into his eyes. They were gray with blue specks in it. I could stare into those eyes all day. Wait, what? Oh, look who's finally shown up as well. "Mr. Knight, take your seat please." He acted like he didn't hear her and kept staring at me. I didn't mind. I stared back at his eyes. They held a look of admiration. "Liam. Snap out of it," someone from the class whispered. Probably one of his friends. He looked away from me to only growl. "Wait, growl? Did he really just? Since you have just arrived, you can go ahead and sit next to Mr. Knight in the back." The teacher points to where he sits and gestures me to sit down. Liam took his last glance at me before taking a seat in the back. "Miss Meadows, I'm Mrs. Fields." "I'm sorry for the interruption. Now class, take out your textbooks and turn to page 121. "Nice to meet you, Mrs. Fields." I mumble as I walk away and to my seat in the back next to Liam. As I was walking to my seat, Brianna thought it was an amazing time to stick her leg out and try and trip me. Did I say try? More like succeeded. I fell flat on my butt and I dropped my textbook the teacher had given me. As it landed, it made a loud thump noise. Everyone started laughing, but neither the teacher nor Liam thought it was funny. Liam gave Brianna a look and immediately her eyes widened and she said, "Sorry, just sorry," as she sunk back into her seat. Well, that was embarrassing. I got up and walked the rest of the way to my seat and sat down next to him. "So what's your name?" he said with a smile. He didn't waste any time. I smiled back, but didn't respond. It was hard not to when a guy that looked like that smiled at a girl like me. Liam has a body and face that looked like a god had shaped it. His muscles seemed huge and showed through his black shirt, which made him look incredibly sexy. He has a jawline and dimples that made me just blush looking at it. I bet he has a girlfriend though. I wouldn't be surprised if it was Brianna. She seems to be well known and popular, so it wouldn't be a shock. He saw me checking him out and smirked, "Like what you see, princess?" I blushed so hard I probably looked like a tomato. And no, I wasn't dash. Yes, I was. The smirk didn't leave his face as he looked back at the teacher. The rest of the class period went by kind of fast, not including the multiple amounts of times Liam tried to get my attention. I felt bad ignoring him, but I felt a pull towards him. It just felt all weird to me. Once the bell rang, I jumped out of my seat and ran out of the door. My next class was with Zara, so I was thrilled. I'll ask her about Liam to see what he's like. I walked to art, but on the way there I bumped into someone, falling for the second time in a row today as the other person did the same. "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I'm really clumsy, I'm sorry." I make a move to pick up his papers, but he shook his head, picking them up himself. "Oh no, it's okay. Hey, you're the new girl, right? Emily." He thought for a moment before saying my name, like someone had just told him who I was. "Yes, I am." Wow, word really does go around this school. I don't really know what to think of that. Is that good or bad? Yeah, it's a small school, so word goes around really fast. "Well, it was nice seeing you." He goes to turn around but hears my voice again and stops in his tracks. "You too," I say with a smile. My name's Noah, by the way. What class do you have next? He holds out his hand and I oblige, shaking his hand. I have art class with Mr. Davis. Art class is always my favorite because I love drawing. Oh, don't expect much. I heard he almost never shows up. He lets out a soft chuckle and shakes his head. I wonder if he has taken the class too. Oh, does the school do nothing about it? I say, disappointed. My last year of high school and the teacher is a no-show. It sucks because I've always enjoyed drawing and working with clay. I always draw wolves and moons, the occasional rose. I don't know why, but they're fascinating to me. Yeah, but they haven't found a replacement for him yet, and I don't think they're trying hard to find one either. Good luck though. His facial expression made me realize he was being sympathetic, but he wasn't in the mood to have a conversation. Thanks, I should really get going. Not wanting to be late like my last class. Yeah, have fun. Noah said and walked off. Hopefully I didn't make the both of us late, like it mattered for me anyway. Noah has a muscular build too, but not as much as Liam. He has messy blonde hair with chocolate brown eyes, and white shirt with jeans. He almost looked like one of those boys you'd see in swimwear commercials. I get to my class as soon as the bell rang and looked inside. Everyone was in little groups, and the people whose friends weren't in this class were quietly doing whatever, keeping to themselves. And like I was told, no teacher. Hey Jess. You're here. Zara waves me over to her table that stood in the middle of the room. I look around some at everyone before walking over to her, sitting down next to her. So is it true the teacher never shows? I ask curiously, putting my papers down onto the table before looking up at see her reaction. It wasn't like I didn't trust Noah, but I wanted to hear an explanation. Yeah, who told you? I wanted it to be a surprise, she said with a frown. I guess no one picks this class to actually do work. This boy named Noah. I say, remembering his name from not too long ago. Oh, him, she says, looking down and fiddling with her fingers. Oh, does someone have a crush on Noel? I say in a girly tone and push her arm playfully. And no, maybe, yeah. But he turned me down. She looked up at me. Oh, I'm sorry, Em, he'll see what he's missing out on soon. I smiled at her. Yeah, I guess. Anyway, can I see your phone? She asks, trying to change subject. I don't press on and answer her. Sure. I take my phone out of my pocket and unlock it for her. My home screen is a picture of a moon drawing that I made along with a wolf howling into the distance. As I said, I find them fascinating. Why do you need it? I ask curiously. 'Cause I want to steal it, she says in a blank tone, almost serious before she cracks into laughter. I'm kidding, duh. I want to put my number in, and I'll put your number in my phone too. Okay. I say questionably, watching as she puts her number in. She hands me back my phone and I shove it back into my pocket. Do you have any social media? No, I don't have anything on my phone really. Just Candy Crush and Netflix. I shrug, not really liking social media. Too much drama with celebs and news. I've watched a bunch of shows on Netflix. I love the shows Stranger Things, Pretty Little Liars, The Fosters, Switched at Birth, and Heartland. I'm not done with PLL yet, so no spoilers please. I'm on season 3 episode 5. Sophie says it's the best season, or the dramatic season. I forgot. I have a bad memory sometimes. Oh, have you watched Stranger Things? She says excitedly. Yes, it's my favorite show. I say smiling, OMG, me too. Have you watched Grey's Anatomy too? No, Sophie wanted me to though, but I'm just not that interested in it enough to watch. I have a fear of blood, so I tend to shy away from doctor shows. Who's Sophie? She says curiously. Sometimes I forget that people that don't know me have no clue about people unless I tell them. My best friend back in Ohio, she loves Grey's Anatomy. I like her already. She laughs. The rest of the block we talk about a lot of things and get to know each other more. I found out her favorite color is green, dark green though, like the forest. She loves spaghetti as she made a big deal out of it, and she hates pickles. It's now the end of the school day. I got my textbook from math out of my locker and I headed towards the door. Hey Liam. Just hearing his name immediately brought me to my senses. I looked for the source and saw Brianna. Of course. Her arms were around his waist and I couldn't see his face from where I was standing. I felt disappointment and anger build up, but I don't know why. He's not my boyfriend and I don't have a crush on him, so why? Wait. I have a crush on Liam? This quick? Is something wrong with me? I just met him today. I quickly walked away from where I was and left school. Before I got into my car, Noah was there walking behind me to get to his car. He sees me and runs up to me with a concerned expression. Hey Emily. Noah? What's up? I try and cover up my disappointment, but I notice I've failed when he frowns. Are you okay? You looked upset when you were going out the door, he asked worriedly. Yeah, I'm okay. I shrug and look down at the concrete below my feet, shuffling them slightly. I'll be okay. Wanting to see what would happen next, subscribe to this channel to get to listen to more of our upcoming exciting stories. Click on the subscribe button now. Thank you. Chapter 3. When I got home I started on the math homework. There's supposed to be a test on Wednesday of what they've been learning, but since I just got here, the teacher said I didn't have to take it. I still want to. I don't want to sit there being bored the entire block with nothing to do. What they've been learning so far is pretty easy, so I'm sure I'll ace it. When I do homework, read, or study, I like to listen to music. Pop music is my favorite, though I do like some rock music and a few country songs. I love the bands Fall Out Boy, 21 Pilots, Panic at the Disco, and Maroon 5. I'm looking into listening to My Chemical Romance. Yes, I love bands, don't judge me. I mostly just listen to bands than singular artists. My friends back in Ohio used to say I was a little emo because I'd listen to that kind of music, but I don't care. Right now I'm jamming to the song, Wilson, Expensive Mistakes, by Fall Out Boy. Fall Out Boy just came out with a new album and I love it so much. My favorite song on there either is Church or Stay Frosty Royal Milk Tea. Sure, that title is crazy, but don't let it fool you. It's an amazing song. I was brought out of my thoughts to my phone buzzing. It was Sophie wanting to check on how my first day was probably. I checked my lock screen and sure enough, I saw her face on the caller ID. Hello, this is the Meadow Residence, how may I help you? I say in a customer service tone, making the other end of the line go quiet until you can hear laughing. Jess, I know it's you. How was your first day? It was okay, strange, but okay. You can practically hear the uncertainty dripping from my tone. It is not helping bring my point across. Oh, did you meet a cute guy? What was his name? Did you make any friends? She exclaimed, yes, Liam, and yes. I answer her 3 questions in the order she asks, not fazed. Liam, huh? How did it go? I mean, we aren't friends or anything. When he walked into the class as I was introducing myself, he just stared at me. I couldn't read his expression. And then he tried to tap my arm during class or whispered my name to get my attention, but I didn't respond. Oh, you should talk to him. Maybe you two are soulmates, she exclaimed again. She has a big imagination. I doubt we'd be soulmates and I don't believe it exists. I'll believe they exist when wolves talk. Yeah, I think he has a girlfriend though. I frowned. No. I bet it won't last, she pressed on reassuringly. I raised my eyebrow at her confidence and shook my head. I doubt it, I just got here. There's no way he likes me. We barely know each other. It was a lie, I do like him, a lot. Just find it weird because I don't know the dude. I'll stay away from him, then I'll think about someone else. But for a few weeks I want to focus on school. I might join the art club, if it's not too late. Well, we'll see how it goes. Anyway, I gotta cook dinner, it's my turn tonight. I'll call you some other time. Okay, see ya. I hang up and finish my homework. When I finished, I laid on my bed and took a nap. I woke up to my aunt yelling, "Hey Emily. Dinner's ready." "Okay." I yell back and head downstairs. I walk downstairs and glance at some of the photos in the halls. There's this one photo of my mom and dad on their wedding day. My mom was laughing and my dad was carrying her bridal style. They looked so happy. I walk downstairs and see my aunt sitting on the couch watching TV and my uncle sitting at the dining room table. They always ate in separate rooms, claiming that they want alone time. "About dinner, I want you to get it for me," my uncle says, shuffling some of his work papers. He notices my discomfort and looks up at me slowly. I sighed, "Busy again?" "Yep, I ordered us some Papa John's." He slumps back in his chair and puts on his reading glasses. "Not before shooing me away. That's my favorite pizza place. They have amazing cheese sticks which make my mouth water just thinking about them. Their cheese, pepperoni, and customized pizzas are the best. We normally just order the customized pizza with pepperoni, peppers, olives, bacon, and onions. My favorite topping are onions. We order the olives for my uncle though. I don't know how he likes those things. Coolio." I get my keys and just as I'm about to head out the door my uncle says, "Be back soon, we have some news." "Okay." I say, confused, almost in a question. I walk out the door and drive to the nearest Papa John's. It's only around the corner so it doesn't take long. I could walk but I'd rather drive with the pizzas. I'm afraid I'll drop them. It's now dark outside and am driving home when all of a sudden something runs right in front of me, almost making me hit it. I swerve to try and avoid it and I succeed just barely, getting back on the road with a quick turn. I take a deep breath and look out of my rear view mirror. What the hell was that? I half yelled, taking my eyes off of my mirror and back on the road after not seeing anything. I don't know what that was, but it was huge. I suddenly remember why I was in the car and quickly look to my right. Oh, thank God, the pizza was okay. I get home and hold the pizzas in my hand, knocking on the door. I can't open it cause pizza in my hands. No answer. Come on guys, you gotta answer the door. I knock again. My uncle opens the door with his hair messed up and my aunt nowhere in sight. I got the pizza. I take a glance inside and notice my aunt is gone from her usual spot, making me wonder what's going on. Good, your aunt is going to be staying at your grandmother's house for the night. Why? Did something happen? I ask. No. Actually, there's something I've been meaning to tell you. We both walk to the dining room to eat our pizza when I wait for him to explain whatever he needs to. Wait, are they getting a divorce? Me and your aunt have been growing apart lately and I've been disappearing from your life too. He frowns. I don't mean to. I have a lot of work to do sometimes and your aunt isn't helping in our case either. Her and I are getting a divorce. We don't see each other the same way anymore after everything that's been going on and we think it's best we part ways. He's talking about my parents' death. I'm sorry, I'm going to try and be in your life more. I can't speak for your aunt, but I hope she feels the same way. Oh, I tried to speak but really nothing came out. I was speechless. First, he says they're getting a divorce. They've been happy that I've seen. But I always try and not be around them when I can. I guess that can change. He wants to be in my life now and I guess this can actually work out. It's okay to be out of words, I am too, he smiles. After we talk some more, I finished eating my pizza and delicious cheese sticks and head out to the back porch. I sit down on the deck and begin reading the book I have yet to read for my honors English class. We have to read Romeo and Juliet, yep, that book you just keep hearing about no matter what. I peacefully read the book for about a half hour when I hear a rustle in the bushes beside me. I look towards the source, nothing. Maybe just a bunny or something. I look down at my book again and then I hear the rustling again. I put down my book and go off of the porch, moving closer to the bushes. I walk towards it and see nothing still. They're pretty tall and big, just about as big as me. I shrug and I start to walk to the porch again, until I hear it again. I turn around and call out, "Who's there?" I see a pair of gray eyes through the bushes and I scream. I tried to run away, but I fell while turning around. I heard it whimper when I tried to get back up. Huh? What the hell is that? The rustling gets louder and a large, beautiful wolf comes out of the bushes. The wolf is all black with gray eyes with little blue specks in them. Why do they seem familiar? It's honestly really beautiful, and really large, even for a wolf. Whoa, you are so beautiful, but I didn't think they had wolves in Florida. I say confused. The wolf does a wolfy grin and slowly walks up to me, seeing if I was possibly a threat or just was scared I'd scream again. Don't worry, I love wolves. I think they're fascinating. But I didn't think they were this huge. I widened my eyes at the thought and the wolf lays down, seeing my expression. I walk to it and sit down beside it. I reached my hand out to pet the wolf's head and he didn't show any signs of hurting me, so I pet it. I'll call you Sparky, smiling at the name I had just came up with. He sticked his tongue out with disgust, but I shrugged him off and decided to keep the name. I liked it. Too bad your name is Sparky now. The wolf leaned into my touch and I felt little sparks in my hand. Jumping slightly, I pull my hand away. Why did I feel sparks? The wolf whimpers as it wanted to be petted some more, but I realized it was getting late. Well, I better go to bed, it's pretty late. I hope you'll be here tomorrow. I take one last look at the wolf and go inside to sleep. I change into my PJs that are some polka-dotted shorts and a matching top and slide into bed. I fell asleep to the sound of a wolf howling in the distance. Chapter 4. Liam's point of view, outcasts. Degenerates who desire to destroy my pack and its reputation. I wasn't appointed alpha in my pack without reason, I worked for it. My father perished from an outcast assault when I was 14, so I assumed the role as alpha as soon as I reached 18. Before I reached 18, my mother had to occupy the alpha role and the Lunas as well. Being an alpha isn't simply commanding people around, it's ensuring the pack's safety and, also paperwork and numerous meetings. Outcasts have been entering my territory increasingly lately, but I'll manage it. I had to question an outcast because I wanted to discover the reason why the outcast assaults have been growing, but he didn't reveal anything, only, savor your loved ones while they're present. Let's just say I eliminated him. He was likely referring to my father. Stupid, damn worthless piece of dash. Liam. My mother shouted, looking at me. Are you alright? You have blood on you. I'm fine, Mom, I have to get ready for school. Okay, just clean up before you leave, you're late. Excellent, the second time this week. I rush to the bathroom and take a quick shower to wash the blood off of me and change into a black shirt. I grab my mathematics textbook off of the table in my room and shove it into my bag and run out the door. I transformed into my werewolf with my bag and clothes tied around my wolf and ran to the school. Using my wolf speed, I can make it hopefully before the tardy bell rings. This is the second time this week, I hope the outcasts hold back. My wolf Kyan says, yeah, me too. I respond. I arrive at the school and hide behind some bushes and trees. I shift back and change into my clothes and sling my bag on my back and run into the school to my first class, mathematics. Mathematics was never difficult for me, I've always been quite good at it. It's one of my preferred subjects. I run in the doors of the school and smell something, vanilla with a hint of cherry. My wolf starts stirring around and whispering things I can't comprehend. Hey Kyan, you alright? No response. He just keeps doing what he's doing. I roll my eyes and run towards the scent, and when I get to the source, it's my mathematics class. I slam open the door and right in front of me I see the source of the scent. A gorgeous girl stands right in front of me. She had brown wavy hair with sky blue eyes and small freckles surrounding her eyes. You can only see it if you're looking up a little close to her, but since I'm a werewolf I have a better sense of sight, hearing, and smell. Mate, my wolf and me says at the same time. She's perfect. Yeah, I see, and I appreciate what I see. I looked into her eyes and they held confusion, but yet she stared at me. She must feel the mate bond a tiny bit. I quickly sniffed the air, she's human. What are we going to do now? We have to try and gain her trust. One must have been staring for too long because my friend Dylan yelled, "Liam, snap out of it." I looked at him and growled, and immediately he was quiet. She's my mate, I can look at her all I want. Since you have just arrived to the class, you can go ahead and sit next to Mr. Knight in the back, the teacher said. Yes. She's going to sit next to us for the whole semester. Good, I can try and speak to her. I walked back to my seat and sat down. I glanced at my mate again, and the teacher was talking to her. Now class, take out your textbooks and turn to page 121, she yells, and my mate walks to her seat in the back with me. As she's walking, Brianna trips her and makes her and her textbook fall to the floor. I look at my mate to see if she's hurt, but then I immediately look to Brianna with anger. Don't mess with my mate or you'll be sorry. I mind-linked her. Her eyes widened and she slumped down in her seat and apologized to my mate. I smirked and looked back at the teacher. Being alpha has advantages. Even more than I give myself credit for. The principal here is also a werewolf along with some students here. This school is 80% human though, so we have to watch ourselves. She sits down beside me and looks at me. So what's your name? I said with a smile. She didn't say anything and smiled back. Gosh, her smile is flawless. She'll be a great Luna, I can just tell. I saw her examining me. I smirked and said, appreciate what you see, princess. She blinked and suddenly came back to her senses. She looked away startled, and no, I wasn't. That answered my question. I kept smiling as I looked back at the teacher who was trying to teach us what we've been trying to learn all of last week. But she usually just gives up and tells us to look in the textbook. If it wasn't for the textbook, the class and me would fail the class. I tried to get my mate's attention all period, but she ignored me. The thought of her not liking me made my wolf whimper. She wouldn't reject us, right? To be honest, I don't know. But we have to at least try. I won't give up on her. As the bell rang, I tried to get her attention, but she ran out of the door. I ran after her, but as soon as I got to the doorway, she was gone. I could track her scent. Hey, Liam. Noah greeted me. Dylan was creeping up behind him to scare him. I glanced at him but looked at Noah so he wouldn't notice. Hey Noah, what's dash? Before I could continue, Dylan came up behind Noah and yelled, boo. Noah jumped and almost dropped his mathematics textbook. I started laughing. You idiots. I rolled my eyes. Noah is my beta and right now he looks very startled. Dylan was on the floor laughing his rear off. Get up, will you? You're in the middle of the hall. I said. Dylan stood up, wiping imaginary tears from his eyes. That was priceless. Whatever, you didn't even scare me. Noah defended himself. Say that to the look on your face as you jumped a mile. I laughed. Guys, I found my mate today. What? Where is she? What does she look like? What's her name? Noah asked. Don't know. All I know is she looks perfect and has the most beautiful smile. Yeah, he's smitten already. Noah says, oh, was it the new girl you stared at in front of the class? Her name's Emily. You missed her introduction to the class and kind of ruined it. Dylan said. Oh. That's what was happening. Her name's Emily. Even her name is perfect. Noah, I want you to find her. I say, okay, I'll tell you where she is. He walked off. It took him a few minutes, but in the meantime I talked with Dylan. She's walking to her art class. She just went inside. She's really nice. You're lucky. He mind-linked me. Thanks. I'll try and catch her later. I knew my mate was safe, so I went to my second class. Spanish 3. I'm trying to learn different languages since I'm an alpha. The whole day I couldn't stop thinking about her. I almost skipped Spanish to try and find her art class to pay a visit. There's no teacher anyway. When I went to my locker to get my bag, Brianna came up to me. This woman doesn't get a hint, does she? Hey Liam, she walked to me and smiled. Brianna, I don't have time for this. I rolled my eyes at her. She's a pain in the rear. What? Because of that new girl? I saw the way you looked at your mate. She emphasized the word mate with disgust. Don't talk about your Luna that way. I growled. No one will display ignorance towards my mate. If someone dares to even lay a hand on her, I will eliminate them. Whatever, Alpha, she sneered. Everyone knows you're mine. I'll do what it takes to let everyone know that. Are you threatening her? I growled. She smirked and walked off. If she lays a hand on my mate, I'll break her hand. Noah, Dylan. I growled through the mind link. Yes, Alpha. Make sure Brianna doesn't go near my mate during school hours. Okay. I punched the locker, making a huge dent in it and sighed. I'll fix it later. Chapter 5. It's been a month since I had started school, and so far so good. I have all A's for my grades except for my grade in honors English. I have a B+. And also I haven't spoken a word to Liam. He tried to talk to me my first week a lot, and now it's just like he's giving me space. Which I'm grateful for. I don't even know him. He might just want me for my appearance. No wonder he looked at me that way in front of the class on my first day. That's how this all started. I've been ignoring the fact that every time he brushes past me on accident or our arms touch when we are working, I feel little sparks. It's all in my head. I'm trying to convince myself of that, but it's like he feels it too. He smiles at me when he thinks I'm not looking. It's just all too strange for me. Does he have a crush on me? Maybe I should at least be friends with the guy. I feel bad. As for Noah and Zara, we have become really close. Zara and me more so. We text every day just like me and Sophie. No one could replace Sophie though. Zara knows about my little crush on Liam and everything that's happened so far, and she wishes we'd talk more. It's the week of Halloween. Halloween is on Friday and today's Monday. Noah is having a Halloween party at his place Halloween night, so I'll be there along with Zara. It'll be nice to be out of the house. Parties aren't really my thing though, but with Zara it'll be nice. I thought about what costume I'd wear. Zara says she has a few attractive costume ideas in mind, and I guess I'll be willing to try them out. I'm texting Zara right now about it. How about a police officer costume? Me, how is that attractive? You'll see, I think it's perfect. Send a photo. Me, I don't know. It's perfect, you're gonna love it. Please see, at least try it on Friday. Me, okay fine, I'll try it. Yay. I'll see ya at school, Jess. Me, see ya. I took my phone off of the charger and went downstairs to find something to eat for breakfast. Normally I don't eat breakfast, but since I have a test in mathematics today again, I'll get a banana or Pop-Tart to go. I go downstairs and I see my uncle hunched over the kitchen counter. His clothing looked messy and so did his hair, and I smelt something but I couldn't put my finger on it. Hey Uncle Richard, you okay? I ask, walking up to him slowly. He didn't hear me, so I walk up behind him and put a hand on his shoulder. Hey, he turns around to look at me with an angry face, and I suddenly know what smell I was smelling. He was intoxicated. I back away from him, seeing he was angry. I eyed the bottle in his hand and saw it was empty. He must have been up all night thinking about my aunt. He misses her so much, and he's had nightmares all week about her and couldn't sleep much anymore. I guess he chose to drink his feelings away. Oh no, not you too. I can't lose you too. I broke into tears. His face got more angry and threw the bottle at me, aiming at my head. I dodged it and watched it hit the wall behind me. My eyes widened in horror as he started walking fast towards me. I screamed as he pulled me by my hair and yanked it as he pushed me down to the floor. You did this. You're the reason I'm like this and why they're gone. They're all gone cause of Emily Carter. I cried even more as he pulled me up off of the floor by my arm, and I'm pretty sure there would be bruises there now. He held his face close to mine. You're gonna be late, niece. My parents died in a car crash driving to their work after dropped me off at school, since I didn't like the bus much. When I started 6th grade I said they didn't have to drop me off anymore, but they still insisted. My parents only had one car but didn't mind it since they both worked at the same place. I never blamed myself for their accident. Is he right? I'm sorry. I sobbed out. Go away, you worthless human. I got up from the floor and retrieved my bag that flew off me when I was thrown to the floor. When I heard my uncle went into the kitchen to do whatever he pleased, I went back to my room and changed my outfit. I was wearing a white shirt that now had drink all over it when he tried to hit me with the bottle, and a tiny bit was still in there. And from where he pulled my arm there was also a new hole in this shirt. I just put my hair into a simple braid, black shirt, jeans, and my Nikes. And so no one saw the now bruises on my arm that have perfectly formed in a shape of finger marks I have on a black hoodie. I'm not telling anyone because I don't know what'll happen, and this might just be a one-time thing. I'll come home and he'll apologize and be sobered up and everything will be okay again. I went to school, and once I got through the doors I wanted to start crying. I ran into the bathroom hoping no one saw me. I got into one of the stalls and tried so hard not to cry. When I cry my face gets all red, and it stays that way for about an hour until it goes away completely. Pretty ugly if you ask me. I wipe the tears starting to form and try and think happy thoughts. Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts. The door slams open and I hear a voice call out into the bathroom, Emily? Where are you? I know who it is. Mr. It himself, in the girls' restroom. After I don't respond he says, come on, I know you're in here. I might as well show myself. I get up from sitting down and open my stall door to him looking at me. Why are you in the girls' restroom? I ask quietly. Doesn't matter, are you okay? You ran in here looking like you were gonna cry, he said softly. I'm fine, don't worry about it. I sniffed, didn't help my case. I know you're not, your face is kind of red. Damn it. Just family issues. I say, hoping he'd just leave me alone. But he didn't. Wanna skip first period, is what he responds with. Excuse me? I say, looking up at him. I get lost in his eyes for a second until he responds. I know the principal, it'll be okay. I know you want a friend right now. Everything hit me with realization of what had happened this morning. My uncle hurt me. For the first time. What if he doesn't get better? I can't go back home, I can't do it. What if he's still intoxicated? I didn't realize I was hyperventilating until I slumped into the wall and hugged my legs. Hey Emily, it'll be okay, I promise. Just please, you gotta breathe for me. I couldn't breathe, I tried and tried, but I just kept thinking about everything. Liam walked up to me and crouched beside me. He then wrapped his arms around me, protecting me from whatever would harm me. I leaned on his chest and felt familiar sparks when we touched. In the moment I didn't think about it because I was trying to calm down. When I was calm, the tardy bell rang and I sat up. I'm so sorry, now we are late. I said, looking down. No we aren't, he smiled. Huh? We are skipping, remember, he smirked. Fine. I guess one day couldn't hurt. I said, good, you need a distraction anyway. Do you need to talk about it? No, I'm okay. He didn't look convinced, but he let it go and dragged me out of the girls' bathroom. When we walked out, a custodian that was just about to walk in looked at Liam like he was crazy. Appreciate what you see, he smirked at her and led me out of the school, leaving the custodian without words. So where are we going? I asked, curious. You'll see, he smiled at me. Gosh, he has a perfect smile. I smiled back and followed him. We went into the forest behind the school and watched how he walked up to these big vines on a big rock. Did you take me here to murder me? He looks at me with fake hurt on his face. I'm surprised you'd ever think that of me, princess. I laughed at the nickname, kind of liking how he called me that. So what are we doing at a rock? Give it some credit. He pulled the vines to the side and it wasn't a big rock, it was a pathway to someplace. It's got more to it than it seems, he winked at me. I walked through and saw a huge waterfall with a few rocks sitting in the water around it and on the land beside the calmer water of the waterfall. My mouth was wide open in awe at it. It was so beautiful, I've never seen a waterfall up close before. If you keep your mouth open any longer, flies will get in it. Liam said, ruining the moment. Apologize. I said with a straight face. What? You heard me. For what? He said, puzzled. For ruining my moment with this here waterfall. I motioned towards it. Oh. He looks at the waterfall and back at me with a straight face and says, I'm sorry for nothing, and bursted out laughing. I'm sorry for even acting sorry. So I lied a second ago. I narrowed my eyes at him and went to sit in front of the waterfall on one of the big rocks. This'll be a good day, I can feel it. I ran my hand through the water, sensing Liam was behind me. I heard him mutter something under his breath. The waterfall is beautiful, but not as beautiful as you. Wanting to see what would happen next, subscribe to this channel to get to listen to more of our upcoming exciting stories. Click on the subscribe button now. Thank you. Chapter 6. The sound of the waterfall in front of me was really peaceful. I ran my hand through the water as I heard Liam come and sit down beside me on the rock. Why are you doing this? I found myself asking. Doing what? He said with a puzzled look. This. I motioned towards the waterfall. And me, you took me here. It must be a special place, and we aren't even friends. What made you want to be my friend? He sighs. Ever since I saw you, I've wanted to be your friend. You just seem like a kind person, and Noah talks about you like you're an amazing person. You know Noah? Yeah, he's my best friend. We have known each other for a long time. I caught the little slip up, but I didn't question it. Oh, yeah, Noah's something all right. I rolled my eyes playfully. I got up and walked to the waterfall. It was so beautiful. I went up to where all the water was rushing down. I poked my finger through the water and felt it rush down my arm. I laughed to myself and looked to Liam. He wasn't looking at me at the moment, but at the water, looking his reflection. Boys. I rolled my eyes. I turned back around and gasped as I saw there was an opening leading to behind the waterfall. I looked back and Liam and back to the opening. I shrugged and carefully went into it. The little bit of light coming from the waterfall behind me now lit up the cave just a little. It wasn't a big cave, as I could walk to the back of it in about 5 seconds. I looked back at the waterfall and stared in awe on how much I loved how beautiful it looked from in the cave. After a few minutes, I thought it should be time to go back to Liam. I carefully make my way out of the cave and behind the waterfall. I come back out and Liam is nowhere in sight. Where did he go? Did he leave me here by myself? I looked around and yell, Liam? I don't hear anything and start to panic. I don't know my way back. Where did he go? I turned around and there stood a behind livid Liam. Oh, there you are. I was just about to dash. Where have you been? I have been looking all over for you. I almost got a search party out to look for you. He yelled. I was behind the waterfall. I said, pointing to it. Huh? Yeah, come look at it. It's really beautiful from inside the cave too. I grabbed his arm and led him to the cave. When we both got inside, he looked around and was in shock. He muttered something under his breath and looked at me. This is actually pretty cool, he smiled. Yup. I stared off somewhere when I got an idea. I looked at Liam and went out of the cave. I walked to one of the rocks in front of the waterfall and took off my bag. Liam followed behind me and sat down beside me as he looked at me with curiosity. Whatcha doing? I didn't answer. I was too busy getting my colored pencils and sketchbook out of my bag. I sat my bag down and turned to an empty page, and then I started to draw. For about a half hour I drew in my sketchbook and Liam just sat there quietly watching. When I was finished, I turned the book to him and he looked at it in awe. That's a really good drawing of the waterfall. Thanks. I smiled back at him. I got my phone out of my front pocket of my jeans and looked at the time. 1:30. So since I don't know how to get back, or get back anywhere, what's your plan for lunch? I asked. I was thinking while you were drawing about that. Would you rather have Arby's or KFC? Arby's, duh. I said in a duh tone. He laughed. Okay, Arby's it is. On the way there I looked at my phone and also saw he had an AUX cord. I took the AUX cord and stuck it in my phone, then looked through my iTunes playlist to see which playlist I wanted to play. Liam eyed me curiously as I scrolled down my phone. Who's your favorite singer? Hard choice to make for me. Besides, I'm a band geek anyway. He laughed at my statement, never thought I'd hear someone admit those words. I laughed at him, well it's true so why hide it? He nodded and asked, so what are you gonna play? I don't know yet. I said. I'm trying to choose between Fall Out Boy and Panic. At the disco for Liam, let's see. Are you into any bands? I asked, not really, I do like some though. Oh yeah? Like what? Coldplay, Imagine Dragons. Oh good choices. Ever heard of Panic? Or Fall Out Boy? I asked him, who's Fall Out Boy? I gasped, he didn't. But he did. That's my favorite band, how could no one have ever mentioned the band to him before? What? I basically half yelled. Oh no, he sighed. He probably knew not to annoy a band geek about their bands. Good boy. That's my favorite band. You're missing out on life here. I yelled. He smirked, whatever you say princess. I knew what playlist to play now. I tapped on the album, American Beauty / American Psycho. Some legends are told, some turn to dust or to gold, but you will remember me. For centuries just one mistake is all it will take, will go down in history, remember me for centuries. I sang along to the music. Wow, also a good singer. Any other hidden talents I have yet to discover? Nope, well actually yes. But you'll have to find out later. I winked at him. Fine, he muttered. We got to the Arby's and once we got our food we sat down at a booth. Oh, I almost forgot ketchup. I got up and went to the front where the drinks, cups, lids, and napkins are and searched for the ketchup. Excuse me. A guy about a few years older than me came up to me. He worked there since he had their uniform on. Anything I could help you with? Oh, I just needed some ketchup. I smiled politely. Come up to the front, he motioned me to the front. I went up to the counter and he went into the back and disappeared. I waited a few seconds before he came back and handed me some ketchup packets. Thank you. Jason. I read his name tag. No problem, what's your name? He's asking my name? Well, I mean, he might just be trying to be polite, but he just seems too polite. Something isn't right. I'm being too anxious, there's nothing to worry about. Emily. Lovely name, wanna come back at 6 after my shift is done and get something to eat? Welp. No thanks, but it was nice dash. I was cut off by a very annoyed Liam. Nice meeting you, but she already has a boyfriend. Thanks for helping her. He smiled a fake smile and dragged me back to our seat. I felt the familiar tingles shoot through my arms and fingers as he did it. There's those tingles and shocks again. What was that? I was handling it fine, I said, aggravated. Yeah, I know you were, but I don't trust him. Do you know him? I asked, something like that. He huffed, okay. I shoved curly fries in my mouth and moaned at the taste. I love their curly fries. I heard him growl lowly. What's up with him and the growling? His eyes were turning black, but I didn't notice up until I looked up at him. Are you going to eat? Yeah, sure. His eyes went to his normal blue color. Do you want to play 20 questions? He asked. What's that? It's where I ask 20 questions about you. I want to get to know you better. Also, you can ask 20 questions about me too. Yeah, sure. I mimicked him. He rolled his eyes playfully and started asking his questions. They were mostly questions about how was my life growing up and what my favorite things were. We had 2 questions left, but I had to go to the bathroom. I walked into the bathroom and did my thing, and then I washed my hands. But before I went out I texted Zara because she has been texting me asking where I have been all day. I put my phone in my jeans pocket and turned to walk out of the door. I was greeted with a livid-looking Jason. Wait, what's Jason doing in here? What's up with guys going into girls' restrooms? It's called a girls' restroom for a reason, people. Emily, hello again. He smiled through his angry look. Hello. This is the girls' restroom, you know. I said unaffected, yes, I know. But your boyfriend ruined our little moment earlier. He did hand quotes when saying boyfriend and rolled his eyes. I couldn't call it a moment. Now can you move? I gotta go back. It was my turn to roll my eyes at him. Not so fast, I got to do what I came in here to do. He walked up to me. I'll pass. I said, trying to walk past him. He grabbed my arm and my injured arm from this morning and put them behind my back and pushed me against the wall. You're not going anywhere, he smiled sickly. Chapter 7. Please release me, I exhaled. My limbs still ached from this morning when my guardian injured my arm, and he's making it throb worse. He noticed the marks on my wrists, and a trace of bewilderment colored his gaze. He rolled my sleeve upward and discovered the bruises. He sneered, encountered some difficulty earlier, didn't you? That's not your concern, I retorted at him. It's truly not his business. If he wished to have a conversation, he could release me. Wait, scratch that. If he released me, I'd flee. I hadn't had much opportunity to examine his gaze much, but they're becoming a crimson shade. I didn't believe eyes could become red. My eyes become gray when I'm melancholy and have traces of green when I'm thrilled or truly joyful. I observe. He begins stating something, but I interrupt him. Your eyes are becoming red. I squint my eyes, peering into them. He blinks his eyes and his expression became furious. Never heard of eyes that alter colors. He spoke like I was two. I have, just eyes don't become red, I state as if I was questioning him. That's sufficient, I'm here to have a conversation with you. He grins. Yeah, alright, what's the situation? I roll my eyes. He kicked me in my abdomen. Don't speak to me like that. There will be repercussions if you misbehave. I attempted holding my stomach and he just held my hands behind my back. Now I have to transport you somewhere. Don't make this any more difficult. Transport me to where? He grinned wickedly. To the pack. You see here? He gestured towards his eyes, to the pack. What does your eye shade have to do with this? I'm not ordinary, you see, and so is your little boyfriend, or should I say Ma. He was interrupted by the door crashing to the ground. There at the entrance stood a very furious Liam. Release her, he stated in a voice that could make a grown man wet his pants. I felt kind of an authority to it. He wasn't joking around. Whatever you say, Alpha Knight. Jason released me and I fell. Of course my legs failed me. Liam took Jason by his collar and stormed out of the restroom, not before giving me a glance. Liam. I yelled, running after him. What's happening? I looked into the restaurant and saw no one there. They must have departed. Where would they go? Think, Emily, think. The woods. I run out of the entrance and into the parking area. I look both directions and run towards the forest that's nearby. I look around searching for clues of where they went. Liam. I call out. No response. I sigh and walk deeper into the woods. I wish I could have just seen where they went. What is Liam gonna do to him? I had so many inquiries right now, but I need to locate him first. I heard rustling in the bushes and I looked in that direction, but I saw nothing. Okay, last time this occurred it wasn't just nothing. Who's there? I say in sort of a whisper. A wolf emerges from the bushes and I heard myself gasp. It was a dirty brown shade with red eyes that held determination, and the wolf's mouth was snarled and it started growling. Great, not this too. Please don't harm me. I fell onto the ground and started having a panic attack. First my guardian abuses me this morning, then a guy I don't even know hurts my arm even more, and then attempted to kidnap me, and now this. I can't do this, it's too much. I didn't realize I was saying that all aloud until the wolf stops growling and just kind of stares at me. The wolf transforms into a human and I gasp, a very naked human. I shield my tear-filled eyes away from the naked wolf man and I start crying even more. I'm so confused. Werewolves are real? Don't worry, I'm not going to harm you, the man says, attempting to touch my arm. And no, don't touch me. Who are you? I managed to say through my sobs and heavy breathing. I'm the rogue prince. I'm guessing you didn't know werewolves were real, since you're acting like this. He motioned to my state. Yeah, I always thought they were just fairy tales. I'm sorry, just a lot has occurred today. I've been hearing terms like alpha and rogue and just a lot of growling and I'm so confused. He crouches down to look at me. well, you're just gonna have to have that talk with Alpha Knight. Why are you calling Liam Alpha Knight? Is he a leader or something? An alpha is the leader of the pack. They have territories and they also are very overprotective of their mates. Lucky you, right? He laughs. What's a mate? I'm Liam's mate. I ask. It's a werewolf's other half, their destined partner for life. They were made for each other. That's why Liam has been acting this way towards me. That's why I feel sparks when I touch him. I shout. Yeah, he rolled his eyes. Anyway, I need you to come with me, he smiled wickedly. Wait, what's a rogue? I carefully said. All of a sudden I hear a voice say behind me, a rogue is a werewolf that has abandoned its pack or was exiled out of the pack. A wolf you cannot trust. Ever. I turn around and see an angry Liam. He had blood stains on his shirt and scratches on his arm. I gasped at the sight. They look bad. Liam. I run towards him, I hug him tightly and feel little tingles shoot throughout my body. Hey princess. I felt him smile on my shoulder. Not to ruin this moment, well actually, I don't care. But this one, the werewolf prince grabs and pulls me roughly away from Liam, comes with me. No way I'm leaving Liam. Not after I found out everything about him. I scream and this makes Liam growl loudly, release her. Shall we fight to see who gets the lady? The werewolf prince asks with a smirk. Deal. Chapter 8. I watched intensely as the prince of the rogues and Liam fought. I hope that Liam wins. I do not want to go with a stranger somewhere I don't even know. Maybe I should run off. Well, that's a bad idea. I don't want to leave Liam and their werewolves, they'll find me eventually. They both had shifted into their wolves and are constantly nipping and clawing at each other. It's all moving so fast I can barely tell what's going on. Liam tries to go for his neck for a quick twist of the neck but is too late as the prince already made plans to bite his leg. Liam dodges it at the last second and the prince bites the air, catching him off guard. The prince falls to the ground in a thump and Liam holds his neck in his mouth. Hey, Jess. I heard a whisper behind me. I look behind me and see Noah in a bush calling me over to him. I rush over and crouch down next to him. Liam mind-linked me to come and get you before things got out of hand, but I ran a little late. Come on, we gotta go, he tells me. I take a final look at Liam and quickly turn away because I knew what was gonna happen next. As Noah took my arm and led me away, Liam took his opportunity. I could hear the faint sound of a neck cracking, ending the rogue prince's life. Where are you taking me to? I ask Noah. We get into his car and drive away from the Arby's, the scene, the forest. The place I found out my crush was a werewolf, and that I was his mate. Once I see him again I have some questions. It's all so much to take in. To the pack house, I assume you know he's a werewolf already. I just nod my head and look down at the floor of his car. I'm a werewolf too, he glances at me. I look at him and take in his figure. No wonder he's a werewolf, werewolves are attractive. He's not as attractive as Liam though. I could look at Liam all day. I'm Liam's mate, aren't I? I ask suddenly. Yeah, you are. That's why he just suddenly has an interest in me. The most attractive guy walks in on my first day and stares at me out of everyone else. And then tries to flirt with me and become friends with me. I rush out. Yeah. I promise he'll explain better than I could. You can stay at the pack house if you want for a little while. I would, but it would be kind of weird. I shrug. I just found out I had met my soulmate and that my life was going to be completely different now that I know. Yeah, I guess. What time is it? He asks. He can't look at his phone since he's driving. I take out my phone and look at the time. It's 4:59. My eyes almost popped out of my head. I had to get back to the school and get my Jeep. I got to go home. But do I have to? He is there and I don't feel safe anymore. Oh wow, and by the way, we are almost at the pack house. Okay. The rest of the ride was spent on him talking about how his day at school went. He told me I'd have to watch out for Zara when I get back 'cause she's mad I left her. Oh geez, no one messes with her. Brianna apparently spilled water on her pants at lunch so it looked like she peed herself. I wish I could have seen that. She probably is just glad Liam wasn't there to see it. We get to the pack house and I gasp. It's huge. It's also away from any other houses because they want to shift whenever they want here without worrying about humans seeing them. Then it'd be all over Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, the news. Everyone freaking out over a werewolf. So you seem cool with the fact he's an alpha and that we are werewolves. Noah says confused. Yeah, why say it like that? My turn to be confused. We walk inside and it's way bigger than it looks from outside. We have the living room to the left with 3 couches near the flat screen TV. To the right there's the huge dining room with a chandelier. I've always loved those. When you go into the dining room there's a door leading to the backyard which has a pool and a barbecue area with chairs and tables. A bunch of people must live here. Where is everyone then? Where is everyone? I ask. Liam gave them orders to not go into the main rooms because you're here. He didn't want to scare you away. Trust me, if I wanted to run I would have done it when they both shifted into werewolves back at the forest. I laugh. He laughed and said, to answer your question, I just didn't think you'd be okay with the fact we aren't human. You'd be scared we would hurt you. Are you kidding? We both sat down at one of the couches in the living room. I love wolves. I've drawn millions of them. I say while getting my backpack off of my back. I get my sketchbook from my book bag and hand it to him. But then quickly take it back. He questionably looks at me and I say, sorry, there are some private drawings and journal entries in there. I'll just turn to some drawings you can see. He nods his head and right as I'm about to show him a page Liam comes through the door. I quickly hide the sketchbook in my book bag, making Noah frown. Liam. I yell and run up to him. Princess, he smiles and opens his arms for me to run into. I hug him tightly and feel his arms go around me and his head in my neck. I feel really comfortable right now. He pulls away and examines me. Are you okay? Did he hurt you in any way, shape, or form? No. I laugh at his behavior. I really should be going though, Liam. My uncle's probably wondering where I am. You live with your uncle? Where are your parents? A curious little boy, about 6, walks in the room. Dead. I look at the floor for a second sadly and then look back at Liam, who is currently glaring daggers at the innocent child. Oh, I'm sorry, miss. He sadly looks at me with his sweet brown eyes. It's okay. I smile genuinely at him. Okay, he instantly perks up and skips away. I laugh and look back at Liam, who is already looking at me. Can we go? I ask where? To get my Jeep and to go back to my house. I say slowly. I'm late. Oh. Yeah, right, sorry. We get into the car and drive off to my house. I give him the address and he puts it in his car's GPS and it tells him where to go. According to it, it'll take us 5 minutes to get there. So I guess I have explaining to do, he sighs, yeah. Is all I say. What do you want to know? Why you kept all this from me? It came out as more of a question. Because you just moved here and I didn't want to be the kid who on the first day of your arrival, flirts with you and says, hey, I'm a werewolf and you're my soulmate. Yeah, that makes sense. I go into thought, so if you're an alpha, that means I'm what? A Luna. You run alongside me in a pack. You'll be a great one. How do you know that? I question. Don't question my knowledge of everything, he laughs. The rest of the ride he talks more about werewolf stuff and how an alpha and a Luna is and works. He also went over the mating process. We are here, he parked in my driveway. While we had all of those conversations we went to the school and got my Jeep. Then he insisted he'd drive me to my house saying someone can go get his car at the school and he'll run back. Today was very interesting. I said very. Also, I put my number in your phone. You need a password by the way if you don't want it to be that easy for someone to get in it. What? How? Never mind, I gotta go. See ya. I rush out and run out of the car. See ya, princess. Text me, he says, jogging off into the street. I walk up to the front door and unlock it with my key I use when I usually get home. I walk inside and it smells of alcohol still, just worse. I find my uncle passed out on the couch, so I tiptoe up the stairs. I'm glad he's passed out, I don't want to deal with him right now. After everything today, I need a nap. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting exciting daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 9. I wake up to a loud crash downstairs. I hurriedly ripped the covers off of me and ran downstairs to inspect the noise. I look around and quickly walk around the house to find my uncle. He's not in the living room, not in the kitchen, his office. I walked to his office and there he was. He laid on the floor with papers surrounding him. He must have fallen while trying to get something off of his shelf. He broke a vase my aunt made in the process. Great, he's going to be pissed. He looked up at me and picked himself off of the ground. You're up, he slurred, make me some breakfast. It hurts to see him drunk every day now. Yesterday and now today he started his day drunk. I walk to the kitchen and open the fridge. I look into the emptiness and yell to my uncle, you need to go to the store today. Saturday's his grocery day. He walks into the room. What did you say? He says in an angry tone. There's nothing in here to eat. I say slowly, afraid to make him more mad. You witch. You knew the fridge was empty. You're trying to starve me? And no. I'm sorry. I back away from him before he hurts me again. I back into a wall and curse. Couldn't I have not backed into a wall? It'd make everything easier. He raised his hand and slapped my face. I gasped as his hand made contact to my face. Never have I seen my uncle this way. He was never abusive or this cruel. I'm going out to McDonald's for some breakfast. I'm not getting you anything since you're a witch. I started crying and held my face as I watched him go out of the door. He's drunk, he can't be driving. I run to the door and yell, you can't drive, you're drunk. Watch me, he yells and gets into his car. He drives away and I feel a sort of peace. I don't have to worry about getting slapped for now. I heard my phone ring from upstairs and I ran upstairs to get it. I look at the caller ID and I gasped. I haven't called Sophie in a while. Hey girl. I said guiltily, where have you been? We don't talk much anymore, I miss my Emily, she whines through the phone. I know, just a lot has been going on. Oh, I can't wait to hear the details. We spent about an hour on the phone until I wanted to finally get ready. I'll talk to you later, Sophie. I say, smiling. I miss her a lot. Sure, I have a lot of people in my life now, but she is my best friend. I miss going to the ice cream shop around the corner of the school I used to go to with her. We'd do our homework there too. Okay, bye. I hang up and get up out of my bed. I walk to my closet and try to pick out an outfit for today. If you know me, I have an obsession with jeans. All I have for pants are jeans. I really need to go shopping for more types of pants. I pick out a Fall Out Boy maroon colored shirt that's a little too big for me, so I tied it at the side. I put on a dark pair of high-waisted jeans and my black Nikes with a white check mark logo on them. I also love boots, but I'm not wearing them today. It's February and surprisingly this whole week is supposed to be in the 70s or high 60s. I get my phone and go on Spotify to play an artist I really like. I just started listening to NF a few weeks ago and he might be one of my favorite artists now. The song, Lie, started playing and I walked out my door making sure I got my key. It was raining all night, so when I walk out the door I smell the smell of rain. Don't you just love that smell? It smells fresh. It's a sunny day today, so that makes it better. I mouth some lyrics to the song and make my way to the park. Once I get to the park I sit on a bench under a tree. It's a really huge tree, so it's giving me shade while sitting under it. I open my sketchbook I brought with me and set my Gatorade down on the bench beside me on the left. I start sketching a tree and start thinking about Liam and about him being a werewolf. I still can't believe the whole thing. I'm okay with him being one, it's just I'm his mate. I'll have to become a leader of his pack. Am I ready for that? Apparently someone thinks so because we were paired together. Don't you just love anxiety? I first noticed I have anxiety when I was a little kid. I was afraid of thunderstorms, so afraid that I'd be afraid of going outside when it's cloudy. I'd think lightning would strike me or the building I was in and cause a lot of trouble. People would make fun of me, also because of this one day. I was in 3rd grade and it started to thunder. We had the counselor in our class talking to us and reading a book. We were all called to the rug and everyone went to sit down on the rug. I was so scared and in shock I couldn't move. The counselor kept calling me to come sit down with them and I couldn't, and everyone laughed. I look back at my younger self and wonder why I was that scared of them, but I just know it was my anxiety making things worse for me. Now I just have anxiety over everything. Every once in a while I'll have panic attacks or be very overwhelmed, but I think I'm okay. I snap back into reality and continue drawing my tree. I couldn't hear the person coming up in front of me as I was drawing and had my earbuds in my ears, blasting some more of NF. I felt a tap on my shoulder and I jumped. I felt the familiar tingles on my shoulder, so I knew exactly who it was. Are the tingles that I get when you touch me ever gonna go away? I sigh, nope, you're just gonna have to deal with them. Liam said and winked at me as he sat down on the right next to me. I roll my eyes playfully at him and finish up my drawing. It's one of my best works if I say so myself. Hey, is that the tree we are sitting under? He asks as he looks at the tree above us. Yeah. I take one last look at my drawing and put it off to the side. Just on cue, Liam scoots closer to me and I find myself leaning my head on his shoulder. He wraps his left arm on me and I feel the tingles shoot up my side. I gotta get used to those tingles. I whisper to myself. Liam chuckles, you will, princess. We sit there like that for a little while, just looking at everyone in the park. Some children were on the playground running around or on the slide while other adults were talking or sitting on other benches. One of the children, who was just playing on the monkey bars, runs up to me and Liam unexpectedly. I lift my head off of Liam's shoulder and it sounds like he whimpers a little bit. I brush it off and look at the child. He was younger than 7 years old, but I don't know his actual age. Hey Liam, he exclaimed and hugged Liam's leg. Hey Ethan, he hugged Ethan back and lifted him into his lap. I'm beginning to wonder if he's from his pack, or if he's a relative. Hey little dude. I say and held my fist out for him to punch back. He looked at me at first, noticing he didn't know me, but soon enough smiled and fist bumped me back. Oh, Emily, meet my little brother Ethan. Liam said, putting him back down on the grass. Hey pretty lady. Ethan winks at me, recovering quickly from when he was shy just a moment ago. Hey handsome. I laugh and pretend to be flattered by his flirting by putting my hands on my face. You can now tell he's Liam's brother. They both are flirts and both are really cute. Liam growls lowly at Ethan and sits me now on his lap, wrapping his arms around me. She's mine. I lay my head on his chest and wrap my arms around his body. I could actually lay here all day. He's warm and I feel protected from the world in his arms. I'm falling for him. Oh, is she your mate? That's cool. Ethan says and jumps up and down. Yeah buddy, now go play some more. Mom's gonna be here in a little bit to pick you up. Okay, he runs off and goes with this other kid around his age into the slide. Wait, he's here by himself? I say, kind of alarmed. He's 7, he shouldn't be here by himself. Yeah, he's a werewolf, princess, he knows how to detect danger. And if there's problems around the border with rogues or anything, we mind link him to come home immediately. Okay. I agree and lay my head back on his chest. I wish I could stay here longer, but I have a meeting with some other alphas. I pick my head up and I see him already staring back at me. Okay, you have fun. I laugh, knowing meetings, no matter what, are not fun at all. "Oh, I will," he says sarcastically and looks me into my eyes. I stare back into his also blue eyes that put me into a trance whenever I look into them. I really want to kiss him right now. As if reading my thoughts, his eyes flicker to my lips and we lean in closer and closer. I feel his lips on mine and we move in sync with each other. I feel sparks in my lips and all over my body coming in waves. Nothing could compare the way I felt right now. All I know is, I'm happy with Liam. Chapter 10. Following the moment Liam and I shared our first kiss, we parted ways and I returned to my home. Upon my arrival, Liam sent me messages and we have been exchanging texts continuously for more than 60 minutes. I cannot cease thinking about our kiss. What is our relationship status? Do we become partners automatically since we are destined mates? I still desire for him to formally ask me out, otherwise it remains unofficial. Liam, may I see it? Me, no, you must wait until I complete it. Liam, whyy, I want to see the artwork in development. Me, you're such a child. Liam, who, me? Alright, but when you become a renowned artist and I'm speaking to journalists about the sketch that launched your career, I won't be able to say anything because you refuse to show me. Me, whatever. I placed my phone back on my bed and added the finishing touches to my artwork. It depicted a wolf, calling out to the moon. It ranks among my finest creations if I do say so myself. You can view her artwork at the top. I closed my sketchbook and rose from my bed, placing the sketchbook on my desk. I'm contemplating whether I should add color to it or not. I typically don't add color to my sketches, but if the drawing I created is truly that exceptional, I might just do it. I opened one of my desk drawers and retrieved my colored pencils. My colored pencils are stored in a black, zippered case, alongside my pencil sharpener and erasers. I require numerous small erasers because I write and sketch frequently. I don't compose poetry or anything similar, but a guy I dated previously did. He even presented me with one, and I still possess it. It's a poem containing all the phrases expressing, "I love you," and "I'll never abandon you." But he did abandon me, and betrayed me. I still keep it because he was the first person who made me feel cherished. And it was the first meaningful present a guy had ever given to me. I cannot part with it yet. Perhaps I can though. I mean, I have Liam now, and I'm destined to be with him, right? Xander is in the past, and Liam won't shatter your heart. He cares for you. I'll just proceed and keep it anyway. I placed it in a drawer alongside numerous photographs I'd prefer to forget. They're primarily my family pictures and photos of my baby sister before she passed away, and me holding her. I had a baby sister named Lily. She was born prematurely and died several days after my mother gave birth. For a 9-year-old, discovering you were going to be a big sister, and then several days later learning you aren't anymore is one of the most devastating feelings in the world. She's buried back where I used to reside. I miss visiting her grave annually on her birthday to place a rose on it. I always place a pink rose because it was the color she wore for her first outfit, and her last. I closed the drawer and walked over to my phone again, noticing it buzzed. I didn't even hear it, I was lost in my thoughts. Liam, I want to take you out on a date tonight. At 6 o'clock, I'll collect you in front of your house. Wear something elegant, winky face. Oh my goodness. My first date with Liam. Oh. What am I going to wear? I rushed to my closet and threw some shirts aside to see what items I could wear. I need assistance. Me, Zara, I need help. I placed my phone on my desk and lay on my bed awaiting her response. I fell onto my bed, and just as I landed on my bed I heard my phone buzz. That was swift. I checked the time on my phone, 3:58. I still have some time. Zara, what's wrong? Do I need to dispose of a body? I have the shovel prepared. I laughed at her response and typed my own. Me, no shovel required. I realized how terrible of a friend I am. I haven't told her about Liam yet. I must tell her first. I erased that message before I sent it and wrote a new one. Me, guess who likes me? You'll never guess. As soon as I sent the text, my phone started uncontrollably buzzing. I checked the caller ID and sure enough I mentally prepared for impact. Oh my goodness, Emily. When did that occur? She screamed into the phone. I held it away from my ear and scrunched up my face. I don't want to hear her actually scream. Aliens will hear her from outer space. Yesterday. I feel a smile creep across my face and I start thinking about our kiss. And also, there's more. I brace for impact again. I'm holding the phone away from my ear again. More details. Now. We kissed yesterday, another impact. Wait, here's a test. Let's see if I don't even put her on speaker phone, and I'll put my phone on my desk and back away, if I can still hear her screaming. What? Yes, I heard her loud and clear. At least she didn't yell in my ear this time. I walked up to my desk again and put the phone up to my ear and looked out the window. It's still really beautiful outside. Yeah, I met his younger brother. He's so adorable. He even started flirting with me. I wonder where he gets his charm from. I don't see it, I said with a straight face. We both burst out laughing. Of course I see where he gets it. I wonder what his father's like. Okay, so what did you need help with? She asked. He said he's going to collect me at my house for a date. Are you two a couple now? Did he ask you out? She asks excitedly. I think so. I don't know. Maybe this date will clear my concerns, I said, frowning. Do I hear a frown? No frowning. What time is he coming over? At 6. I said, glancing at the clock. I need to start shopping more. I barely have any clothing. I know most teenagers just say they have no clothes when they have a closet full, but if you saw my closet, trust me, it's different. Don't worry, your hero is coming. She hung up the phone and I assumed she meant now, so I cleaned my room a little bit and waited for her to come over. My uncle pulled up in the driveway and I sighed, flopping down on my bed. I just hope when Zara comes over he isn't rude. I don't need him to cause a scene. I heard him walk through the house until he goes into his bedroom and shuts the door. Okay then, at least he's disappearing for her arrival. Zara doesn't live far, so when she says she's coming, she'll be here in 5 minutes. When I heard a knock, I ran downstairs and opened the door to Zara holding a makeup bag. Oh no. No no no. I'm here to make you beautiful for your date. Not that you aren't already naturally gifted though. It's like you were created to be a queen or something. If only she knew. Haha, yeah, about that, please no makeup. I just don't like stuff on my face, I said as we walked up the stairs. She looked towards me with a disapproving look. Even if it's a little, it's your first date with Liam, so I'm at least putting something on you. No way, besides I wanted you here for advice with clothing, not makeup. I rolled my eyes at her and opened the door to my room. I like your room, nice style. She looked around with approval. Thanks, I guess. I laughed and walked towards my closet. Zara walked over to my closet and threw some outfits and things that she thought would work together and put together multiple outfits. There was a maroon dress that went up just above my knees, was sleeveless, and had a bit of a turtleneck. It's a beautiful dress. And then the second choice. It was a dress I didn't even know I had, but as soon as I see it I know why. It was my mother's. I took it from off of my bed and examined it. It's a black dress with a blue flower shown on the top and was long-sleeved. I picked the maroon because it's my favorite color, and I could never see myself wearing my mother's dress on a date. Not tonight at least. I picked the maroon dress. I pointed to her and hugged her. It was 5:15, so I was going to get ready a little bit before Liam arrived. We headed downstairs and she grabbed her purse and makeup bag, that she didn't use, and said, well, text me when you get home, or if you end up staying the night at his place. She winked at me and walked out. My mouth hung open at her statement and I felt my face grow red. Dang it. I headed upstairs and took a shower. Once I'm done, I wrapped myself in a towel and looked at myself in the mirror. I felt different ever since I found out I had a mate and that they were real. I don't look any differently though. Same blue eyes, same light brown, wavy hair. I don't have very noticeable freckles, but if you look a little close to my face, I have freckles surrounding my eyes. I also have a vein in my left eye in the exact shape of a check. My father used to say I was checked off. I looked at the bruise on my arm that's still there and started freaking out. I'm surprised Liam hasn't seen it yet. I can't wear a sleeveless dress. I might just have to wear the black one. I can't let Liam see this. I walked quickly to my room and picked up my phone and read the time, 5:30 p.m. Less than an hour to go. I sat in front of my mirror on my dresser and braided my hair. I'll take it out when Liam comes over. My hair looks best fresh out of the braid. It gets super curly, wavy, and amazing. I got up from my dresser and took out my mother's black dress. I went into my jewelry box and picked out my favorite necklace. It's a golden rose necklace, and so happens to be my favorite flower. I lay it on the dress on my bed and went downstairs to grab a little snack before I leave in a little bit. When my uncle gets Wendy's chili, he gives the crackers to me, or just lays them on the counter in the kitchen for me, because he knows I love them. I grabbed the crackers and chose to only get 2. Meaning 4 basically. 1 pack comes with 2 crackers. I got a cup of tea and sat on the couch and ate my deliciousness of crackers. I heard my uncle come down the stairs and heard him fall. I can't have a moment of peace. I got up off the couch and turned towards the stairs. He was thankfully already on the last step when he fell, and he's drunk again. I can already smell the alcohol. He helped himself up in a matter of seconds, giggling to himself and whispered, "Haha, clumsy me." His smiling moment was short-lived when he saw I was in the room. His eyes glanced towards my crackers and walked towards me. He stood in front of me and quickly, before I could register what was happening in my brain, slapped the 3 crackers I had left out of my hands and onto the floor. My deliciousness. I frowned and asked, "Hey, why did you do that?" "Don't question me, I saw what was on your bed." "Where are you planning to go tonight?" He crossed his arms over his chest and looked at me with the, "You're not going anywhere," look. "I was planning on going on a date, Uncle Richard," I said truthfully, looking down at the floor where my crackers now lay broken into little pieces of deliciousness. "Please don't slap me." I looked up to see a smile on his face, but then a look of disgust found its way on his face. "No one could love you, you're a worthless piece of garbage." My mouth hung open at his words. Never in my life has someone told me that, and it hurts, especially coming from a family member. "What has gotten into you?" I snapped, yelling at him with tears in my eyes. "I've had enough." "Excuse me," in his eyes I saw rage, but I wasn't planning on stopping anytime soon. "You've beaten me, made me feel bad, and cursed your heart out at me. I've had enough. You don't even know what's going on in my life anymore, 'cause you're caught up in drinking now. Drinking has changed you for the worst." He pulled me by my hair and threw me to the floor. I grimaced as the feeling from him pulling my hair was still there. I don't have any time to try and get away as he kicked me in my stomach 2 times. "That's what you get for talking back," he smiled evilly, walking into the kitchen. I held my stomach as I groaned in pain. I think he broke one of my ribs. I watched in horror as he opened the drawer and I saw the flash of silver. He ran towards me and I tried scooting away as fast as I could, trying to get up, but I didn't get anywhere as he's already in front of me. He plunged the knife into the floor, just barely missing my face, but he got a tiny bit of my ear. I put my hand over my ear and tried to stand up as he tried to take the knife out of the wooden floor. I got up as best as I could and ran over to the phone on the wall, as it was the closest one to me. I remembered Liam's number, so I dialed it and heard it ring as I glanced worriedly, looking toward my uncle who was still trying to get the knife out of the floor. I heard the other end pick up and heard Liam's voice. "Hello? Liam. Please come get me, now. Help me please, my uncle's trying to kill me." I pleaded, hoping he wasn't in the middle of something important. "I'm on my way," he growled into the phone and I hung up. I tried to run to the door, but my uncle finally had gotten the knife unstuck and pushed me against the wall. He held the knife in his hands as he saw the blood coming out of my ear. "I would have cut your neck but you wouldn't hold still, but now I got you, so it's okay." I whimpered as he held my arms into place. Oh, so the little bastard's name is Liam, what a great name for a player. He wouldn't want you. Stop please. I stuttered, pleading to him, you're my uncle, why are you doing this? You look too much like my daughter, all I see is anger when I look at you. There can't be another her. And she's gone. He looked hurt and for a second I felt bad, but once he brought the knife to my arm I felt the coldness of the silver. I started crying even more. Now, let's have some fun, shall we? He smiled but then frowned. He pulled the knife away from my arm and looked towards the window. Oh look, someone's here to save the day. Well, too bad he's going to come back to you, lying on the ground in a pool of your own blood. He brought the silver up to my neck and I felt the silver as it made contact. I screamed as he drew blood. The door flew to the floor and my uncle stopped cutting open my neck. The knife dropped to the floor as a figure blurred to my vision lunged towards my uncle. And with a snap of his neck, he was dead. I held my neck to stop the blood and suddenly felt faint thinking about it. I saw Liam and I smiled weakly as I fell to the floor. No, 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 Emily, stay with me please. He pleaded as he wrapped his arms around me. Even though I was hurting in a bunch of places, and after that whole scene, I felt safe in his arms. It's done, you're safe now, baby. Don't close your eyes. He put his arms under me and started carrying me outside. He ran into the forest and I saw black dots clouding my vision. And then I saw darkness. If you're still listening to this story up to this point, why don't you subscribe to this channel to continue getting impactful daily stories like this? We would be most grateful if you can do that to help boost this video to reach everyone. Thank you. Chapter 11. She's going to be okay, Alpha. I heard a voice say to apparently an alpha. It was an older voice that sounded like a male's. Then why hasn't she woken up yet? It's been hours. I heard a voice growl. I know whose it is. It's my mate's. Her body has just gone through a dramatic state. Her body needs to heal a little and refresh before she wakes up, the other voice said, trying to calm down Liam. Wait. Her breathing's normal again. She's awake. I heard Liam say. I heard rushing of feet and I tried and opened my eyes. Hey princess, are you awake? Liam's voice said, hoping I'd respond. I felt a hand touch mine and it's Liam's because I felt tingles in my hand. I opened my eyes and squinted my eyes. It's all really white. I jerked myself into a sitting position but I felt a sharp pain in the back of my neck, so I groaned and lay back to how I was before. Take it easy, baby, you've been through a lot. Baby steps. I tried and opened my eyes again and saw a worried Liam. His hair, which is usually messy but it's a sexy kind of messy, was now looking like he had run through it a bunch of times, and his eyes were kind of red from lack of sleep. Hey, was the only thing I could say in the moment. I'm bad at saying anything after events. He laughed. Hey, how are you feeling? Kind of okay, my neck hurts and my arms feel sore. I looked down at my arms and saw bruises in the shape of fingerprints worse than before. Hey. I didn't notice that before. Liam took my arm and looked at it closely. I winced and he noticed I had just said it was sore, so he put my arm down and muttered, sorry. It's okay. I smiled. You've been out for a few hours. He glanced at the clock on the wall and looked back at me. I should get the pack doctor and tell him you're awake. We are at your pack. And they have a doctor? I asked curiously. I didn't know they had doctors. Yeah, we also have warriors and guards. And dentists, since we can't afford to have human dentists look at our teeth and find out we have sharper teeth than normal. Just like doctors. Oh, okay. I said and felt tired again. I yawned and Liam saw because he replied, you can go back to sleep once the doctor gets here. The doctor walked in. Look who's awake. Hello, Luna. He greeted and held his hand out for me to shake. I took his hand. Hey, but please just call me Emily. Luna sounds so formal. I said, shaking my head. Okay, well, how do you feel? Tired. I yawned again, trying to keep my eyes open. Usually hospital beds are not as comfortable. I should know. I've been in one twice. Then you can go back to sleep once I do some things." He smiled and got out his clipboard. He checked my bruises and my neck and told me I could go home in a few hours. "I don't want to go though. Too many bad memories, even though the one who made them is now dead." The doctor left the room and now it's just me and Liam. "You should sleep too, you don't look so good." I brought my hand up to his face and cupped it, moving my fingers under his eyes. "Yeah, I really should." He stopped leaning over the bed and told me to move over. I didn't protest or ask why and did as I was told. He jumped into the bed with me and was now laying right beside me. "Really?" I laughed at him. He looked over at me. "Yep," he smiled. The bed wasn't as tiny as some, also pretty big, so we could both fit easily. "Good night, princess," he said, looking down at me. I would have replied, but I fell asleep beside my mate. I woke up and checked the time, 3:24 a.m. I've only been asleep for 2 hours. I looked beside me and saw a soundly sleeping Liam. I giggled silently so I wouldn't wake the sleeping beauty and took in his figure. His chest was rising up and down and his face looked peaceful. Usually it doesn't. I got up and went into the hospital bathroom in my room. I quietly closed the door and turned on the light. I squinted to the brightness and saw a note on the mirror. "You and your mate look peaceful, at least for now. Unknown." I started breathing heavily and I fell to the floor. No, not again. I just became safe. "You're telling me there's more? I can't do this." I brought my knees to my chest and rocked myself back and forth, trying to calm my breathing and my fast heart rate. A worried Liam burst through the door and saw me on the floor and kneeled down. He held me in his arms and cooed, "It'll be okay, SHH, calm down, princess." I rested my chest on his chest and wrapped my arms around his body as I kept shaking and breathing heavily. "He can protect you, now stop acting like a baby and calm down, Emily. You can do it." Since Liam helped me calm myself down, I was done panicking within 5 minutes, and now I was just listening to his heart beating through his chest. A little quick, but steady. "What made you have a panic attack?" he asked quietly so he wouldn't startle me, looking down at me. "The note," that's all I could say so I wouldn't have another episode. I nuzzled deeper in his chest while he looked around the room for the mysterious note. He looked at the mirror finally and read it to himself. He growled lowly, "No one is going to hurt you, not while I'm here." I smiled into his chest and looked up at him, his eyes staring back at mine. Those eyes that make me melt every time I stare into them. "Can I stay with you? At the pack house?" I asked him. "It's probably a long shot, I just don't want to go back to that horror house." "Is that even a question? Someone's coming after you. I'm not letting someone get to you that easily. Plus I want you to stay with me, so I can see you every day." I was going to ask once you turned 18, but since you'll be living on your own anyway, you can stay with me, he smiled. "Thank you, Liam." I smiled back. He leaned down and brought his lips to mine. I wrapped my arms around his neck and kissed him back. I felt the familiar sparks and smiled into the kiss. I knew he felt them too because we had to stop kissing due to us smiling too hard. I never knew how important you'd be to me." I smiled harder. I didn't know that'd be possible. I sat on his lap and smashed my lips on his again. This kiss was quick, but needy. I need this boy in my life. And I've never wanted someone more. Chapter 12. Liam and I headed back to the house to get some of my belongings. After the incident, I didn't want to go, but I had to get my stuff. Once we got there, I got out of the car and just stood there. I was terrified, even though the reason behind it was dead. Liam was there to take my hand and assure me it'll be okay. The place is a crime scene with police tape around the front yard and police officers in my living room blocking off some areas. They allowed me to go up to my room and gather my things, so that's good. Right now I'm packing in a bag Liam gave me to pack all of my things in. I made sure to grab some of my mother and father's things I kept after they died. I have my father's hat that he would wear every day, everywhere, and his wedding ring. I have my mother's wedding ring as well, some of her clothing that could fit me, and a necklace. I couldn't leave that behind. It was a flower necklace made of real diamonds. It's one of my favorites aside from my rose gold one. The necklace is up at the top that I picked for this story, but if you want to imagine something else, feel free. I would miss my desk. I kept everything in that desk. Papers for school, drawings, other papers, and pairs of earbuds I have had over the years. I don't know why, but every time I have a pair, one day they mysteriously stop working or start acting funny. Weird. I have headphones too, 2 pairs. I have this skull candy light pink ones I used a few years ago. It's still in perfect condition, if you don't count a scratch on the right side of the expandable headband. I remember how that happened. Me and my cousin were playing around in the backyard and we fought over them. We ended up dropping it on a rock. I cried thinking it wouldn't work, but there was no damage to the headphones and how they worked, just how they looked. My other pair is a black pair that lights up in the ears that so happen to be speakers. I use those every once in a while, but I prefer earbuds. They're much simpler. I packed those in my bag and took a look on a little table in my room. On the table, there are little glass animals I would get from an art museum. I have a horse, my favorite dolphin, dragonfly, duck, mouse, and a unicorn. When you bought them, they came with tiny gold or silver boxes, so I put them in their boxes and tucked them in the bag as well. I have my sketchbooks I have drawn in over the years and all my art supplies too. Mostly my bag is full of those. Liam said I can get more clothes later cause his sister is dying to meet and go shopping with me. Great. Last thing I packed was my hoodies. I absolutely love hoodies. I'd rather wear those all day than shirts, but I get hot and cold very easily. I have one that's a navy blue that says on the front, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, from the times I'd go with my mother and father on vacation. The last 2 times I told them I'd buy a hoodie every time we went there. The last time we did, I bought a red lifeguard hoodie with SC on it so everyone knew I went there. I also have one of my mother's old hoodies that's a pretty dark red. It's simple with no writing or designs on it. It's a little big on me, but I don't care, it's comfortable. I hope when me and Liam's sister go shopping I'll get some more hoodies. I looked into my room for the last time and walked out. Liam was up in my room with me before, but Noah mind linked him to go to the pack house real quick for an emergency. He said he'd come and get me when I'm ready to go. I texted him I was ready and chose to call Sophie. I haven't talked to her in ages. I'm not going to tell her about Liam being a werewolf though. I tapped on her contact and I waited for the phone to ring. On the second ring it went straight to voicemail and I frowned. I wonder what she's doing. I leaned up against a tree in my front yard and thought about going on Pinterest to search some pins about drawings I could do. I found some pretty drawings and felt my phone vibrate. I took it out of my jean pocket and read the screen. Liam, look behind you. I was suddenly frightened and stiffened. I slowly turned my body around and I saw a figure standing behind me. I flinched and screamed loudly, making the police, now leaning on their cars discussing topics I don't know of, give me weird looks. Liam, don't scare me like that. I held my chest indicating I was scared even though it was obvious. I'm sorry, I didn't think you scared easily. I thought you'd think it was funny. He hugged me from behind and looked up into the sky. Curiously, I looked up at the sky wondering what he was looking at. I saw a cloud in the shape of a turtle. Hey, that's a turtle. I exclaimed and looked back at him. No, princess, that's obviously a dolphin. Okay, where do you even see a dolphin? It was a turtle. Up there, duh. Okay, come on, my sister's dying to meet the famous Luna. He held out his hand offering it to me. I took it and we walked to the car. Once we got to the pack house I kind of felt anxious. I'd been here before, but I never knew it was a pack house. Plus I'm just now realizing I'd have to take over this pack with Liam. Calm down, Jess, maybe the pack isn't as big as they made it seem. I took his hand again and walked in the double doors of the pack house. Liam and I walked up the stairs as he led me into a hallway. He stopped in the middle of the hall. Do you want to share a room or have your own for now? I thought about it. I mean, I'm only 17, but it's not like having a room with him is giving up my virginity, right? Plus I'd love to be able to sleep with him every night. You know, not the dirty type of way, just the comfortable way of sleeping with someone you love. Do I love him? Oh geez, I said the L word, too soon. I don't know. I've never felt feelings that go this fast before. I'll figure this out later. I'll share a room with you. I smiled to him. I said those words before I registered saying them in my head. Well, I guess I'll share one with him now. Okay, he smiled back and opened the door to the room we were standing in front of. This room is kind of huge. On the left side there's a flat screen hanging up on the wall and a walkway leading to what I'm pretty sure is the bathroom. There are big windows in the room with on the right side, a huge bed that is probably twice as comfortable as it looks. The walls are a dark red while the floor is a white color. The bed has all white sheets and cream-colored pillows. You can set your bag on the bed or start unpacking. I have to go to a meeting, so I'll be back at 4:30 to discuss dinner, he said to me. Before he left, he gave me a quick kiss on the lips and walked out of the door, closing it on the way out. The first thing I wanted to do was walk to the window. I love natural lighting in rooms, so the fact this room has a large window is a plus. I stared out of it looking at the scenery. The pack house is surrounded by wood, so they can freely shift and do whatever they want without being spotted. So my view is a bunch of trees. I checked my time on my phone and saw that it's 2:05 p.m. I have about 2 hours and 25 minutes to myself. I walked over to my bag and put some clothes and hoodies up in the walk-in closet we now share and stocked the bathroom with my girly stuff. I don't have much. Just pads, a bit of chapstick, and some mascara I put on for special events. I walked out and plopped myself on the bed. Mission accomplished, I'm now lying on the bed. It was as comfortable as it looked. I heard voices downstairs. Is she here? I heard a feminine voice yell. I perked up from my position on the bed into a sitting position. Who is that? I heard running up the stairs and into the hallway I was on. The footsteps got louder and louder until I heard a knock on my door. The knock was barely a warning that she was coming in, cause as soon as she knocked she was in the room. She stared at me and looked at me with surprise. Wow, my brother got himself a prize. Thank you for watching this video. Subscribe, like and share for part 2 coming up soon.